Well, hello, this is Bishop and Udell, and I'm bringing you another World Missions article in Union Gospel Press. Now, this article was written by Lyle P. Murphy. Here's what he wrote. One of the most touching narratives of foreign missionary work and its cost is found in a book by Robert Coventry Forsyth titled The China Martyrs of 1900. The Boxer Rebellion was an uprising mainly against foreign intervention in Chinese affairs. Gunboat diplomacy, first by Germany, then England, France, Russia, and Japan, had nibbled away at the rich eastern coastal territories of the kingdom. Missionaries and Christian converts were the easy victims of a national reign of terror. Shanxi Providence was hardest hit, with 102 adults and 42 children murdered. The book provides 144 photos of the martyred missionaries and their children. Western military forces restored order in the kingdom. China Inland Mission, which suffered the greatest losses in workers, along with other societies, resumed their labors among the millions of Chinese far from the more civilized eastern region. The Chinese communist scourge began to be felt in the backcountry in the 1930s. John and Betty Stam, Moody Bible Institute graduates, and CIM missionaries were slain as hated foreigners in December 1934. Two large indigenous churches began in China in the early 1920s. Interestingly, both groups were planted by missionary women. Quote, the little flock, unquote, was the work of a native missionary, Watchman Nee, under an English missionary. The second group, in Chinese, Yesu Chia-ting, meaning house of Jesus, was the work of Mr. Ching under the influence of Miss Dellenbeck, an American Methodist worker. Dr. Rees, a missionary, a physician in the China Inland Mission, first went to Mr. Ching's work in Changtung, Providence in 1921. After the communist victory in China, Ching invited the doctor to the Yesu Chia-ting compound in 1948, where he stayed until his expulsion from the country the following year. Rees found that Ching's great-great-grandfather had purchased the land more than 100 years before. Trees were planted in a broad belt around the compound and were the sole protection from the outside. In true communal fashion, there were departments from agriculture to spinning and weaving. Everyone involved was a born-again Christian. Communication was by bird call. The Christians said even their dogs knew who was born again. The center of life in the compound was the chapel. The communists readily destroyed chapels and churches, but the, quote, home of Jesus, unquote, people used the chapel space for work, which the communists must have recognized as truly progressive. Yesu homes were self-sufficient, and labor was a trust. Members went from home to chapel at 4 a.m. and prayed until 8 a.m. Hymns were sung from memory, including Handel's Messiah in Chinese. They included bird calls in their music. The communist regime was unable to find anything to complain about. In fact, some Yesu procedures were copied for use by government-led communist movements. Making Christ known throughout Northwest China was the primary work of the fellowship. Their missionaries were sent great distances. The Yesu lived out their Christian faith in every possible way. They knew and longed to please the Good Shepherd. So people gave their lives not because they wanted to be a martyr, but they felt compelled. The understanding and goodness they had received through the Holy Spirit from reading the scriptures, they didn't want to keep it to themselves. They wanted to share it. And some of them felt like at that time, China was in bad shape. And so they wanted to share it, knowing that we may never return to our homes again. We might not live as long as we want to live. We may be tortured, but so be it. Should we die doing the will of Yahweh God in the name of Yeshua Jesus, it's okay. So what are you doing for the kingdom of Yahweh? What are you doing to spread? You say you enjoy your fellowship with Yahweh God. You enjoy Yeshua Jesus. You're thanking them for the Holy Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh. But what are you doing? You keep it to yourself, or are you willing to share it as the Holy Bible commands all Christians? In fact, all people, not just Christians. Everyone that has ever been connected to Yahweh God have been under orders to share what you know with other people. Yes, even the Jewish people. They were the first group, maybe not the first group, but the first group that we are aware of. It is possible other groups came before them, but they got tired of sharing this. They wanted to make up their own religion, so they did away with it. And that's probably why many of them were killed by others who came after them. Anyway, there's so much to learn about the history of Yahweh God, Yeshua Jesus, Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, so much. And you can learn it in your own language. If you need help, just get a hold of someone and they will help you. God bless you until we come back next time.